Tonight, Coin 6 is digging deeper into who will exactly be placed in the Safe Rest villages that are set for the homeless in Portland.
Our investigator, Dan Tilkin, reported just last week, you'll recall, on the announcement of 4 more proposed village sites in Portland.
So, Dan, not a single one has opened yet. We're behind on that. So what's going on exactly?
It has been a very difficult process. There are these 7 locations proposed right now. The city is 7 months overdue on promises on when the work was originally planned to open the pod villages. The ordinance that was passed in June to create them called for people living in some of the harshest homeless camps to be prioritized for the Safe Rest villages. And that has some neighbors of the sites concerned for their own safety.
What are your biggest concerns?
Our biggest concerns are that it is low or no barrier to entry.
Neighbor Kylie doesn't want us to use her full name, but wants taxpayers to know what concerns her. When she says low or no barrier, she's talking about who would be allowed to move into the proposed Safe Rest village at the former Sears Armory near Multnomah Village. With 30 pods, it would look similar to the villages that already exist on Portland's Inner East Side and Old Town. Low barrier means people who are possibly in the middle of harsh addiction.
Villagers don't have to be sober, and they don't have to be seeking mental health treatment if they're suffering from mental illness. So for us, it really is about sobriety and an expectation of ongoing treatment.
The criteria for who will be moved into Safe Rest villages is such a part of the plan that it's spelled out in the title of the ordinance that created Safe Rest villages. It reads, Safe Rest villages as alternatives to high-impact encampments. Among the criteria to define a high-impact homeless camp, evidence of conspicuous drug use, the size of the camp, and verified reports of violence or criminal activity. There are 280 homeless camps considered high impact by the city, including this one just off of I-5 at North Lombard. I talked to a man living in that camp in November.
They got to do something. Oh, it's going to go and down, down, down.
Without revealing his identity, he described seeing a lot of crime.
The drug problem here? Holy macaroni. I ain't never in my life seen such a bad deal.
If Portland is going to lift itself out of this homeless crisis, it has to find a solution for the most extreme situations.
Now we are here to provide some viable hope that we'll see some solutions and actually move people off the streets and into housing successfully.
The Safe Rest Village part of the plan falls on Housing Bureau Commissioner Dan Ryan, who has to balance the safety of neighbors.
These are going to be the people who are most drug addicted and potentially have been committing crimes that are going to move into these camps as a priority. Is that the case?
The case is you have to have people that are willing to actually receive some of the services. I do think that hopefully some will be people that are in the late stage of addiction that are willing to consider services, but I think it's important that we have a real good mix.
So to ease neighbors' concerns, the city's agreed to a 150-foot buffer zone around the Safe Rest villages, banning additional unsanctioned camping, because neighbors are concerned if you bring folks there and from high risk, then maybe their friends who are also high risk will come as well.
And it would be a magnet. So Dan, I want to ask, so there are now 280 of these high impact camps, 280?
That is new information we got today. In October, the number was 71. Somehow we have quadrupled that number and we don't know the answer. I've got questions like, how did we do that? We're still waiting to hear back.